ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So here in this verse, Lord Kapila is explaining about a very important concept of how the soul transmigrates from one body to another. In this material world, we find so many different types of living entities. We find human beings, we find animals, we find insects, we find a huge elephant, we find birds, trees. So sometimes we wonder how these different types of living entities have come into existence. If God is equal, He is not partial, then why somebody is having a good body, somebody is beautiful, somebody is born in a very rich family, and somebody has taken birth as a cat or a dog, isn't it? So Lord Kapila clarifies all these things, how this happens. In the last verse we saw that Lord Kapila is explaining this. Dehena jiva bhutena lokal lokam anuvrajan. Due to his particular type of body, the materialistic living being entity wanders from one planet to another, following fruitive activities. So the root cause of his wandering is the activities he performs in this material world with his body. That causes him to wander from one species of life to another species of life, from one planet to another planet. Similarly, if we cease this reaction of fruitive activities, then our wandering will also stop. Then we need not have to wander from one species of life to another, from one planet to another. So how important our activities is. We have to be very careful about what we do. Just like we see in the examples given in Bhagavatam, there was a king who was very charitable. Put this down, a lot of this thing. He was very charitable. He was performing lots of pious activities. So we find the example that in charity giving, he made a small mistake. He gave certain cows to one Brahmana, and then one of the cow returned back. Later on, this king, he gave charity to another Brahmana, and this cow which had returned, he gave that cow also. And because of this mistake, he was penalized. We see this example. We see the example given in Bhagavatam about a great sage who in his childhood did a small mistake, unknowingly, not even knowingly, unknowingly. In his childhood, he pierced one ant with a thorn. And for that he had to face similar situation in his life, where he was supposed to be pierced with some kind of weapons by the constables of the king. Then somehow he was saved. So we see this example also. We see in Bhagavatam the example of a devotee of the Lord, like Bharat Maharaj. He gave up his youthful life in order to practice spiritual life. But then he became attracted from his spiritual life, being attracted to one small baby deer. And as a result, he had to take next life as a deer. So, actually it is very important to understand the activities we are performing, there are reactionary results of all the activities we perform. It is very important. Whatever different activities we perform, there is a reaction to it. These reactions will continue in a suitable body. These reactions will continue in a suitable body. That type of body will be given. If it is required that the reactions of this life, I have to deserve those different kinds of fruitive results of that, it may be in one life, it may be spread over in many lives. See? Suppose we perform thousands of activities in this life now, and there are thousands of reactions. So those thousands of reactions, by the arrangement of the Lord, we may have to suffer or enjoy those reactionary activities in the next life itself, or it could be in many lives spread over. Sometime born as a cat, sometime born as a dog, sometime born as a tree, sometime going to heavenly planet, sometime going down. You see. So just imagine actually how important it is to perform activities which will not produce any reaction. That is the art of Krishna consciousness, which is being taught in Bhagavad Gita. Yagna arthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. If we learn this art, that we can perform activities for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord, then absolutely there is no reaction for that, no material reaction. Seemingly, from external viewpoint, it may look like material activity, but actually it is spiritualized. Externally looking like material activity, we may think, just like Arjuna was thinking, I will go to hellish planet. He was thinking like this. But Krishna explained, no. You will not get one more birth in this material world if you perform activities as I have said. See? So actually it is so important. So for a devotee, this should be the measure of his activities. Otherwise, we are risking our next birth. There is no doubt about it. So every activity we perform, this should be the measure. Is this satisfying my spiritual master? Is this activity which I am going to perform, will this satisfy the Supreme Lord? Then we should perform it. If it is only my sense gratification, I like it, my mind does not like it, and we don't perform those activities, then certainly we are in the activities of material reactions and actions. So actually it becomes very simplified for the devotees. Because we may wonder how to understand Krishna is satisfied. If the spiritual master is satisfied, yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, yasya aprasadat nagati kutopi. It's very simple. Once this question was asked by one devotee to Prabhupada. I'll read this, very interesting. Devotee, how do you develop this seriousness if you find that you're always frivolous? Prabhupada was talking about one has to take to Krishna consciousness very seriously. Because somebody may come and somebody may just go. Isn't it? Prabhupada gives the example. You go to the hospital, there is no doubt. It is said that if you go to the hospital, your disease can be cured. But if you go to the hospital just to see the hospital and come back, and don't seriously take to the prescription of the hospital, you will not be cured. So Prabhupada was talking about that. And then this devotee asks a question, how to develop this seriousness if you find that you're always frivolous? Isn't it? So it's very interesting. Because sometimes this is very appropriate for us also, that we are quite frivolous most of the time. Now how to develop this seriousness? So Prabhupada answers this. Seriousness? If you become serious, then you develop seriousness. If you are fickle, then how you can develop seriousness? So Prabhupada is saying, if you become serious, then you can develop seriousness. If you remain fickle, then how you can become serious? There is no question of becoming serious. Therefore, injunction is Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasadaha. You should be very serious to abide by the orders of the spiritual master. Seriousness in Krishna consciousness means seriously carrying out the orders of the spiritual master. And the prime order of spiritual master is chant your rounds, follow the 4 regulative principles. That is the prime order of the spiritual master. See? So if we don't follow that, then where is seriousness? Isn't it? That is what we should understand. Then you are serious. But if you think spiritual master is a man like me, why shall I follow his instructions so strictly? Then you are not serious. And if it is coming in your mind that he is also a personality like me, he is not God, no? So he may be also making some mistake. Why I should carry out his order very seriously? So then you are not serious. Then what is the use of being initiated? This is seriousness. And we sing daily, Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasada. What is the meaning? Karnadhar. By the mercy of spiritual master, one receives the mercy of Krishna, Prabhupada. So if you don't follow the spiritual master, how you can get his mercy? So this is very important. If we are expecting the mercy of the spiritual master, then we have to please him. We have to satisfy him. And the spiritual master is satisfied if we abide by his orders. If we carry out, if we follow his order, the spiritual master is pleased. Mercy is always there. But if you don't take it, what spiritual master or his father will do? So even spiritual master cannot help you. Even his father cannot help you. Prabhupada is saying, if you don't take the orders of the spiritual master seriously. So mercy is there. That is seriousness. Therefore Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, the order of my spiritual master is my life. I do not know whether I will get liberation or not. That is not my business. My business is to carry out the order of my spiritual master. See? Whether you will be successful, you will not be successful, that is not our business to even think. Our business should be simply to carry out the order of life. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has shown that. Guru more murkha dekha korila shashana. My spiritual master saw me to be a fool and he said, you don't read Vedanta. You simply chant the holy name of the Lord. And he's saying, I am simply following that. And when I followed that, I am going into ecstasy. So when I went into ecstasy, I was dancing, all these things. I went back to my spiritual master. What kind of mantra have you given me, my dear spiritual master? I am going mad. He said, very good. You should also become mad and make other people also mad. So, this is the nature of chanting the holy name of the Lord. Anyone who chants seriously, without offenses, will definitely develop ecstatic symptoms. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said, if one is serious on this point, then he is serious. First of all, we have to approach a spiritual master who is actually a spiritual master. Then, if we carry the order of the spiritual master, then everything is guaranteed. Same example. First of all, find out a right physician. Put yourself under his treatment. Follow his instruction and the disease is cured. But if you go to the false physician or if you are false, then result will not take place. So just having a bona fide spiritual master will not serve the purpose. You also should not be false. you should also abide by, take the orders of the spiritual master as your life and soul. Then it is possible. So, we have to seriously take to Krishna consciousness. That is very, very important. So here, very nicely it is described about this process of transmigration. It is our actions and reactions. So if we can understand this point, that actions in Krishna consciousness will not produce any material reactions, then actually all our fruitive activities, everything is terminated. The spiritual life is such a great boon on the living entity. The Supreme Lord, He actually squares up all our reactions at the point of initiation. Whatever you may have performed in your past lives, immediately it is squared up. And at that point, if we become serious and no more perform any material activity, then there is guarantee you will not take birth again. It is guaranteed. Because all your previous one is squared up. Your future is in your hand now. Now you follow the instruction of the spiritual master and do not perform any material activities. Just abide by his order. Then it is guaranteed, after giving up this body, you will not have to take birth again. You will not have to wander. Just like we are seeing this example Lord Kapila is giving. Otherwise, we'll have to wander from species to species, from universe to universe, planets to planets. Because of these activities, what we perform. Very beautifully Lord Kapila is describing. How it is, very beautiful example Prabhupada is giving in the purport. Prabhupada is saying, it is as it is given in Bhagavad Gita, Brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudhani mayaya. Brahmayan means traveling. The living entity is traveling from species to species, from one universe to another. How is it traveling? Sarva bhutani, all these living entities. Yantra rudhani, arudha means being placed on this material machine. This body is called a machine. And this machine is built under the spell of Maya. Yantra rudhani mayaya. So, on this material machine he is sitting and he is wandering from different places. And actually you can see, Prabhupada gives the example in this context. If you sit on aeroplane machine, the same person can go very fast. The same person sits on cycle machine, he cannot go very fast. So it is based on actions and reaction, one is given a certain kind of machine. So somebody may get a good machine and somebody may get a slow machine. It depends on our actions we have performed in our past lives. And how it is done? Ishvara sarva bhutana hrideshu arjuna tishtati. He is directing the wandering of the living entities. He is only directing based on our activities, what we deserve. He only sanctions it. He does not desire. He is not desiring this living entity should be put in the machine of a dog. He should become a dog. God is not desiring that. We have desired, unwillingly he sanctions. His desire is different. His desire is sarva dharman paritajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. That we are not following. We are following our own desires. So the result is Brahmayan Sarva Bhutana Yantra Rudhani Maya. We will have to wander from different places. So, how nicely Prabhupada has described here. He says, it is a series of actions and reactions. What is material life? When we say material existence or material life, it's a series of actions and reactions. It is not one action, reaction, finished. It's a huge series, big series. So much so that Vaishnava poets have described it, Anadi Karma Phale. You cannot even make out when you became entangled into these material activities. From when this series is going on, no idea. Very difficult. Sometimes Prabhupada is saying, he is giving in the purport that it may be from one millennium to another millennium. You cannot even imagine what huge period that is. One millennium is, birth of one Brahma, and then one millennium is over. And then let us say, so many kalpas have passed by. And then once again Brahma is born. It may be even that much time. We are roaming around in this material world. So Prabhupada gives the example that in one millennium, Narada Muni was the son of a maid servant, and in the next millennium he became a great devotee. Isn't it? So from one millennium, another millennium, Anadi Karma Phale. So he says it is a long film spool of actions and reactions. You would have seen in the movie, it's all a huge film. And that film is rotated and it looks like a movie. Isn't it? When you go, actually it is all different activities. Different films combined together makes a movie. It's a long reel. Similarly, all our, what we are experiencing today as a life, the film we are experiencing, sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm distressed. Isn't it? So many things we obtain. It is nothing but a long film. And this particular life is nothing but a flash, small flash of that film. Otherwise, it's a very huge film. You see? I'll read that. Prabhupada is very nicely saying about that. Materialistic life involves a series of actions and reactions. It is a long film spool of actions and reactions. And one lifespan is just a flash in such a reactionary show. This show, what we are seeing, just like we go for watching a show, no? Our life is a show. And this is nothing but a flash of that show. Otherwise, it's a very long film which we are in. So when a child is born, it is to be understood his particular type of body is beginning of another set of activity. So in this film, when we take birth as a child, so now it is starting off one series of activity. And then when we become old and when we die, it is to be understood one set of reactionary activities finished. Next you take birth, another set of activities will start. So reactions and actions going on. Only in human life you can perform actions. In all other lives, we are only suffering or enjoying the reactions. And that is why human life is considered to be very important. You can change the course of your action. Otherwise, it is not possible. in any other life. Dog cannot become Krishna conscious apart from the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, there is no chance in a general sense. But in human life, one can be in any different category of human life. One can become Krishna conscious. Just like we see Kirata, Hunandra, Pulinda, Pulkasha, Abhira, Yavana, Shumbha, Kashadaya, Ye anye cha papa yadapashraya ashraya. If one takes shelter of bona fide spiritual master, they can all become Shuddhyanti tasmai prabhavishnave namaha. They all can be purified from this cycle of actions and reactions. One last very interesting conversation I was going through. It's very beautiful. Sometimes when we organize Rath Yatra, many times you would have heard this. Ratham tu Keshavam drishta punarjanamna vidyate. Ratham tu Vamanam drishtva punarjanamna vidyate. Isn't it? So then actually we will think it is a very good shortcut. So many Rath Yatras I have witnessed and I have seen the Lord. So definitely then I don't have to perform now any more spiritual activities. Already it is destined, I will be liberated, right? So Prabhupada explains this very beautifully. So someone asked this question. This is after the lecture Prabhupada gave on Rath Yatra, and Prabhupada quoted that verse also, that if someone sees the Lord in the Ratha, then he does not have to take birth. Devotee Prabhupada, can you explain a little bit more about Rath Yatra? Anyone who takes part in Rath Yatra, are they liberated? Prabhupada, certainly. Devotee, does that mean they will not take birth again? Prabhupada, yes, provided they take it seriously. See, this is very important. Provided they take it seriously. Otherwise, if they keep their mentality differently, then according to mind, one has to get a body. So he's given a chance. He comes in front of the Lord. No doubt he's liberated from all his previous activities. He's liberated. Immediately all his reactions are squared up. Moment somebody has the darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that chance is given. But then, if he keeps it seriously, abiding, and he takes to devotional service, then it is guaranteed. But if he keeps his mentality once again, same materialistic mentality, then again he'll have to take birth. See? So Prabhupada is saying, just like so many boys, they come here in the beginning out of curiosity, but gradually they get the chance of becoming devotee. Similarly, if they take the chance, then they will be liberated. They come out of curiosity, but if they take it seriously, they will be liberated. So out of curiosity, somebody may come to Rath Yatra, have the darshan of the Lord, and if they take that seriously, definitely they are on the path of liberation. But if they don't, then again, according to their mentality, they'll have to take birth again. So, just like hospital is meant for curing disease, very beautiful example Prabhupada is giving. Hospital is meant for, that is the purpose of hospital, to cure disease. So, one should take the treatment, correct? When we say hospital is meant for treatment, what does it mean? Come to the hospital, take treatment, and your disease will be cured. There is no doubt. So Prabhupada is giving the example this. If he simply goes, visits the hospital and think, now I am cured, but how it can be done? Hospital, there is no doubt about it. If he visits the hospital, he has to take the treatment, then he will be cured. If he simply goes to the hospital and comes back, I went to the hospital, I was not cured. Going to the hospital, you have to take it seriously, go there, take treatment, then you will be cured. Now I am cured. How it can be done? Suppose if I advertise, anyone who comes to this hospital, he will be cured of this disease. So Vedic literatures are also advertising. Vamanam tu, Ratham tu Vamanam Drishtva, Punarjanamna Vidyate. So Prabhupada is saying, similarly, if I advertise, anyone who comes to this hospital, he will be cured of his disease. That's a fact. There is nothing wrong in that. Anyone who comes to the hospital, he will be cured of his disease. That's a fact. But if he thinks, I have come here, now I am going, then how he will be cured? To see Jagannatha on the Ratha Yatra, his way for liberation is open. But if he comes back again and entangles himself, then one goes to the doctor, he gives injection, disease is cured. But again he comes back and does the same thing, so he develops this disease again. So whose fault it is? This is called Hasti Snan. You see? Elephant takes a bath nicely. As soon as it comes out on the bank, he takes dust, throws it over the body again. If we do that, then we shall remain always dirty. You go, take bath, cleanse, but don't take dirt again. That is not going on. They become immediately mukta, liberated. But they come again, become entangled. It is a fact. Seeing Jagannath is mukta. That's all. He becomes mukta. See? Seeing Jagannath, one becomes liberated. There is no doubt about it. But if he again comes to Maya, then who can check him? Just like you're all on the path of liberation. But if you again come back to Maya, then where is your liberation? Why Jagannath in the Rath Yatra? If somebody comes here and sees his path for liberation is open, now he should protect himself just like the disease. Fever is subsided. Now you should be careful not to relapse the fever. That care is in my hand, everyone's hand. And if you become prone to be relapsed again, then again the same thing. Just like in Christian church, they confess. Of course, that is the injunction, that's good, all right. But after confessing, the sins are excused. That's a fact. But if he comes back again the same, then where is the effect? But they are happy in that way. After 1 week, I shall go to church, confess my sin, everything will be neutralized. That's all right. Suppose on Sunday, you become free from all contamination of your sinful activities. Because he has gone and confessed on Sunday. So Prabhupada is saying, okay, Sunday, Lord has given you liberation. You are liberated from your sinful activities. So you become again, and Monday, again you do the same thing. So you again become contaminated. And say on Tuesday, so Prabhupada, see, beautiful example. Sunday, go to church, you become liberated. Okay, see how beautifully Prabhupada is explaining. Monday, you again do sinful activities, you are implicated. Okay, and then Prabhupada is saying, say on Tuesday, if you die, then you are dying with sins, is it not? Sunday you became liberated, Monday you became implicated, and Tuesday you die, you are dying with sin. So where is the question of not having a birth again? Again you will go and take a birth. You see. Then what is the condition? If the God or Christ excused you of your sinful life, that's all right. But when you come back, you don't commit again, then you're all right. But if you have taken it as a business, you go on Sunday, neutralize our sin, come back again and do the same thing. So from logical point of view, see, this is very important. From logical point of view, suppose you do the same sinful activity and if you die immediately, then you die with sinful activities, you go to hell. What benefit you derive by confessing in the church? That business is going on. Now I have seen Jagannath, my liberation is guaranteed. now I can do anything. That's all. This mentality will not give you liberation. You have seen Jagannath, your sinful activities are now neutralized, but don't commit again. Now make progress, then your liberation is guaranteed. Is that clear? Srila Prabhupada ki jai.